In 2025, I went birding almost every single week, sometimes multiple times a week, and took thousands and thousands of photos. And I saw the improvement of those photos as well. A lot of that has to do with the upgrade to the Nikon Z6 III. This camera has been just absolutely incredible. And in its first year has already taken some awesome shots. So in this video, we're gonna talk about my top 10 photos, including going back in time to look at the encounters that led up to some of these photos, which one was my top photo of the year in my opinion, and then you guys can vote down in the comments below, and talk about what I want to improve for next year as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. Before we start with the top 10 photos, let me just mention a few honorable mentions. I'm sure every photographer can relate, but there's some photos that they really like, and you just couldn't fit it into your top 10. The first one is a photo of two greater sage grouse, and they're going at it in the middle of the road. The reason this isn't in the top 10 is because it is a road shot, and I like my photos to look a lot more natural, although I'll be a hypocrite with this later on. So let's watch the encounter that led up to this photo. I was able to capture these two greater sage grouse sparring together in the middle of the road. The lighting wasn't great, and it was actually super foggy that day as well, but I really like the dual composition here with the one greater sage grouse coming at the other and the other one tucking its head. Kind of gives me that yin and yang type vibe as well, and I just think it's a really cool photo. The next honorable mention is another grouse species. This is the sharp-tailed grouse. So let's go into the encounter that got to this one. We were heading to our next location and we came across some more grouse. These ones were much closer and the grass is not tall at all. So more looks at these sharp-tailed grouse, absolutely incredible. Yeah, enjoy. I really like this photo, mostly because there's so much detail involved. I was very close to the subject. It came right up to us, as you could see in the video. And the reason it's not in the top 10 is just because it's a very simple portrait shot. The bird's not displaying those beautiful purple air sacs on its neck, and it's just kind of sitting there, knocking it out of our top 10. The last honorable mention before we get into the top 10 is this photo of a red-winged blackbird. So let's dive into the encounter that led to this photo. Birding in Oregon was amazing, and I see red-winged blackbirds all the time, but I just haven't been able to focus on getting a good shot of them. This one perched up really nicely. I love the light element in the background. I would say though, I wish it was a little more eye level. It was up above me, so you are looking at it a little bit from its belly, knocking it out of my top 10. Now let's get into the top 10 photos of 2025 for me, Jordan, Bright-Eyed Birding. Let's dive into the experience where I captured number 10.
So I'm just filming these white-winged doves. We don't have these at home.
We have anywhere between 20 and 30 of them here right now.
So as you can see, this photo features a white-winged dove. Now I said I don't love human elements and things. I actually do, if it makes sense. In this one, I just love the arch going across the bottom of the photo. The photo turned out really sharp, and I just love the colors, the nice smooth background. Doves are really underrated creatures as well. You don't see a lot of photographers posting photos of any species of doves. So I really want to include this one in my top 10. The photo's sharp. The colors on the white-winged dove near the eyes are just absolutely stunning, and they pop out against a pretty subtle photo overall, but that color I think does all the difference, so I'm really proud of this one. Moving on to number 9 was one of the best experiences I had in 2025. So let's dive in real quick to watch this encounter. Okay, so this is crazy. I was just looking at spittlebug spit. It's like, it looks like human spit on a blade of grass. And then Allison over here, the MVP of this trip, said, "Goshawk," right above us in the tree. So enjoy these views of my lifer, American goshawk. The American goshawk is a bird that I'd been searching for quite a long time, and I couldn't believe when we finally had one just perched up for literally probably 30 minutes plus. Usually you just see them flying by. This one just sat there, and I was able to set up the tripod and really just take my time with these photos. I love the added element of the light coming up over the horizon and just casting that orangish glow on the American goshawk as well. Not to mention it's a species that you don't see featured in photography very often. So this is one I'm going to remember for a very long time. All right, next is an encounter that I had during my global big day just in October. This photo ended up being one of my favorites of the year. It's very simple. It's not a hard shot to take. There's not a lot of creativity involved. I just love the light in this photo. So let's watch the encounter real quick. We got our first highlight bird of the day, a great horned owl, just chilling in a tree over there. That actually is really, really good for us because one, great horned owls are amazing. Great horned owls are amazing beings, and honestly, there are several owls on this list, as you'll find out shortly. But again, I just love the light coming through the canopy and just landing on one side of that owl. I was able to play with that light a little bit in Lightroom and just really make it pop to what I remember it being, and this by far is one of my favorite photos of the year. All right, so this next photo is, honestly, I just love what's going on. It's telling a story. So let's watch this encounter real quick of these two birds.
Bet y'all didn't know you were gonna get some rosy finches in here as well today. We're all checking out some feeders. Now this is a new feeder setup that I haven't been to before. This is called Powder Mountain, and we have black and gray-crowned rosy finches already here at the feeder.
Rosy finches are absolutely incredible. They're one of the few bird species that have pink represented in their plumage. There's not a lot of birds that have pink, but rosy finches do. And in Utah, we have two species primarily. We have the gray-crowned rosy finch and the black rosy finch. And in this photo, I was able to capture both. You have the gray-crowned rosy finch basically landing and like shooting away, scaring away that black rosy finch. It's absolutely incredible to look at to me. You can see the two dualistic different species there represented, and I just really liked this shot in telling a story. The next photo is a very small subject, a hummingbird, and I got this photo really right at the beginning of the year, almost right after I got my camera. So let's watch back this encounter. Anna's hummingbirds are absolutely gorgeous, and this one just perched right up for me to take a photo. I would have loved if it landed on some of the nature, but I do think that the little metal perch really does it some good in this photo. I love the sharpness, and the pop of that gorget on this bird is stunning, that beautiful pink coloration. I don't get a lot of good photos of hummingbirds unless they're at hummingbird feeders, so I was really proud of this one. All right, this next photo is of a rare bird visiting the state of Utah. These birds arrive annually to the state, but they are difficult to find and they really hang out east. So let's watch this encounter real quick of this rare bird that I was able to capture in this photo. We just got it. We just picked up my lifer indigo bunting. It didn't take long. Eventually, activity picked up and it started to sing. Absolutely incredible. Lazuli buntings are baby blue, indigo buntings are a royal blue, and it covers their whole body. Lazulis have a brighter, whitest patch on their chest. Absolutely incredible. Lifer number 376, maybe, I think, and Utah bird 287. Let's go. 13 more to go. Enjoy these views of the indigo bunting. Indigo buntings have some stunning colors, so I was really able to play a little bit with this photo in Lightroom and make the indigo bunting color pop to how it looked to me out in nature. I love incorporating some warmer light into my images, and so that orangish hue in the background and the nice smooth background with the pop of the blue bird really speak to me volumes. So really love this photo as well. This next photo was a really casual encounter. We were just kind of walking around, not trying to find anything too crazy. We were at Utah Lake State Park, so let's watch this encounter real quick. We've made it to Utah Lake State Park, and just on the fence over here is a California quail, a female California quail. Those birds are absolutely adorable, and I actually grew up, my street was actually called Quail, and so we had, and yeah, there were quail that ran all the way around. Unfortunately, it got developed just recently in the last 5 to 10 years, and all the quail disappeared. So whenever I see that bird, I get a little bit of a nostalgic feeling. California quails are some of my favorite birds in the Ave kingdom. And what's amazing about this photo to me is that it's the female, not the male. Females are still so subtly beautiful. You can see all the individual scales. You can see that eye popping as well. The nice smooth background. And I know there's a fence there, but honestly, it's one of my favorite portrait shots that I took the entire year. I love being able to represent the beauty of female birds because they're very underrepresented in photography as well. And so I was really happy to be able to get this shot of a California quail, a bird that means a lot to me as I grew up watching them as a kid running across my front lawn. All right, so we're down to the top 3, and it was really difficult for me to place these. Number 3 might be my favorite portrait photo of the year. So let's watch this encounter real quick. It also happened on another big day, but during the summer. The American barn owl is my favorite owl species of all time, and honestly I just love barn owls, that beautiful heart-shaped face, their spooky screeching, and the fact that they represent La Lechuza, the witches in Mexican folklore. Absolutely incredible creatures. But to capture this bird in the middle of the day with some incredible light coming through the canopy was the best part of this photo for me. I loved being able to see the light seeping through those leaves and casting a beautiful glow on this American barn owl. Not to mention, this is the species featured on my 2026 calendar that you can purchase now in the link below, and I'll show you guys after this video what that looks like. And this photo is represented in another calendar, the Sageland Collaborative Calendar, that all the proceeds to that go to conservation efforts in the Salt Lake area. So if you're interested in supporting conservation, check out the link below for that calendar as well. Right, number 2 on this list is my bald eagle photo that I got in Oregon. Let's watch back this encounter real quick as well. Again, I love this photo because it tells a story. You have this bald eagle defending itself from a goal, twisting its body in a really cool manner in the middle of the air. I think that my editing has improved since I've done this photo, so if I was going to do it differently, maybe I'd sandwich the light a little bit more to not make it as flat. But for my first year in photography and editing and Lightroom and trying to learn all of that, I was really happy with just how this story played out. You can tell the bald eagle is trying to defend itself from a goal, and I just love telling a story in my photography. All right, last but not least, this one might surprise you. So in the comments below, if you disagree with number 1 and you think another photo that you've seen today should be my top photo of 2025, let me know. But I absolutely love this photo of this bird. I don't know what it is. It's a simple bird with some beautiful colors within. So let's check out this encounter real quick. That's right, my number 1 photo of 2025 might surprise you again. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. Is this photo of a willet on the beach, and I just love the colors that come in. You have some pinks in there, you have some blues in there, some sea foam represented in there as well. The subject turned out really tack sharp, and I just love that. I got super low to the ground, tried to get it right at eye level, and this is my number 1 photo of 2025. But again, let me know in the comments below, what's your favorite photo that you saw in today's video? What do you think I could improve? I love getting tips. I'm very much an amateur photographer. I'm improving every single year, so I'd love to hear from you. What could I do better? Also, I'll step back here so you can see, here's my 2026 Bright-Eyed Birding calendar. Obviously, it features the channel colors as well, and that barn owl on the front cover. Every photo also features a QR code that'll take you directly to the adventure where the photo was captured. So if you ever want to relive the photos or watch the birds move around or whatever, you can check out those QR codes as well. As you can see, for the month of July is the bald eagle photo that I just talked about being one of my favorites. It features a lot of the photos that we went over today, including some photos we didn't talk about, like this western screech owl hiding in the leaves for the month of November. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, make sure you check out the link in the description and get yourself a Bright-Eyed Birding calendar. Make sure you check out Bright-Eyed Birding Learn, where I do bird education content, teach you about species, ID tips, a whole bunch of stuff, backyard birding. Go check it out. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you all next time on Bright-Eyed Birding.